All right, what's up, guys? Andre here. And so last week, I said this on my timeline. Send me a screenshot or link to your content, and I'll tell you why it's trash and what to do to fix it to get clients. All right. And I had a couple people submit their links in the comments down below. And in this video, I'm going to review it. I'm going to fix up their content. I'm going to fix their ads. Whatever they got, whatever they submitted, I'm going to fix it. Whatever it is, I don't even care. I'm going to fix it. And so first of all, I want to give a shout out to these guys. Let's just link them up in here because I know how difficult it can be to fix your content. Okay. Getting your content fixed, very difficult, especially if you do not have a good marketing coach who knows what the heck he's doing. Shameless plug. So let's get into this, my friend. So we have first, who are we gonna go first with? Let's go with Frank. Okay. He has a post here. Okay, here we go. So Frank, here's Frank's post. Can you guys all see it? Yeah, perfect. All right. So very quickly, let's just see what Frank is. Okay, so Frank looks like he's a mindset and performance coach, okay? And here's his post, why I stopped meditating. Okay, so let's I'm going to read out this post, right? And it's really important you guys read out your post before you hit publish on them so you get a way better idea of what you're saying and if it actually makes sense, all right? So let's read out Frank's post. I'm going to read it out. I'm going to narrate it the best I can. So let's get into it. All right. So why I stopped meditating. You know what's baffling? I started a meditation habit with so much excitement and commitment. Every single day, week after week, month after month, I stuck to it religiously. But then out of nowhere, it's like I hit a wall. All right. So you see, notice where I'm stumbling words. That's where you probably want to look for where your wording is a little bit off. I stopped. I dropped the routine I had worked tirelessly to establish, and I was left standing there, scratching my head, wondering what in the world happened. It's like I played a trick on myself. I was reaping the rewards, that mental clarity, that sense of tranquility, the heightened focus, and then, in the blink of an eye, it all vanished. Okay, so this is getting very flowery with the language. So I'm almost already thinking, did ChatGPT write this? All right. So you want to stay away from flowery type of language. Okay. It's almost maddening. You know, I found myself questioning everything, going over my actions, trying to solve this puzzle. Was it the whirlwind of life that swept in and stole away those precious moments of solitude? Okay. So again, you're using super flowery language, and I'm going to take a wild guess and say you're not from North America or an English speaking country because I don't know anyone who speaks like this. All right. So this is the kind of the first alarm bell or red flag that will go off in my head to alert me this is not a native English speaker or he's using ChatGPT to write his content. Secondly, let's continue. Or did my motivation dwindle as the novelty wore off? Maybe I got a little too complacent thinking I had already mastered the art of mindfulness. The answer is probably a little bit of each of the above. Over the past year, however, I finally cracked the code. I've meditated almost every single day and I look forward to it every time. Want to know how I did it? I'll share that with you in a minute. Okay, that's interesting. You put an open loop there. And so let's continue. But first, here's what I don't do. I don't meditate at the same time every day. I don't offer myself a random reward like chocolate after meditating. I don't even write down about my intention to meditate every morning. Okay, that's interesting. These are all handy little tricks to help you start a meditation routine even when you really don't want to do it. But they don't lead to long-lasting change. For that, you need something else. The magic sauce lies in rewiring your brain to actually want to meditate. And how, in the name of mystical miracles, do I do that, you might wonder. Okay, a little bit weird phrasing, mystical miracles. Okay, I know you're trying to be funny here. after spending just 10 minutes filling out some tailored worksheets and practicing a mind mastery exercise, meditation has come to feel like fun. Now I actively look forward to meditation. Like, seriously, it's crazy. I never thought I would hear myself say those words. I'm honestly so amazed by how effortless it has become for me to meditate every now and then. All right, so this is getting into like infomercial territory with this language here, where we're just saying, like, seriously, it's crazy. It's so amazing. I'm amazed how effortless it is, right? It's getting a little over the top here. And now we'll go here. Okay, that's why I decided to write a guide to help others do the same. It's called Mental Magic for Mastering a Meditation Habit. Okay, that's a mouthful. And now it's my gift to you. Just DM me easy peasy to learn about how you can make meditation something you look forward to instead of something you dread. Your coach, Frank. All right, so the purpose of this guide really is to get people to DM you for your meditation guide. So the purpose of this post is to get people to DM you for your meditation guide. We just have to get very clear on what the end goal is here, and that's your call to action. All right. And so the first thing that we want to figure out is how can we get people to read this post, because I don't think people are going to read this post like the way you have it set up right now. Right. And so the first thing you'd want to do is with your hook. So this right here, the first line is your hook. And I think you know that already. This is why you put this in cap, why I stopped meditating. The thing is, people do not care why you stopped doing something, right? Unless you were like a meditation expert already, then it would be a big deal. Like, why did Master Yogi, I don't know, some master meditators stop meditating? Like, what? Why did Eckhart Tolle stop meditating, right? So what you want to do here is really link why you stopped meditating to your ideal client. Okay, so make it relevant to your ideal client. And who do you help with this kind of stuff? Let's see here. On your profile, you empower entrepreneurs to outperform by outliving. Okay, so you're helping entrepreneurs, you're helping business owners, right? So what you can do with this hook is change it to something that would be relevant and scroll stopping to business owners, right? And so you could try something like, I stopped meditating to grow my business, right? Then if you change it to something like, I stopped meditating to grow my business, that's going to get business owners to be like, oh, wow, I thought meditation helps grow your business. What's up with that, right? Or maybe even a business owner who already meditated and who stopped to grow his business, he's going to find this very relevant, right? And so then you could say something like, I stopped meditating to grow my business, even though I had been meditating every day for the last 6 months. I wondered if it was because I was, and then you can have your points. Point 1 being all related to business owners who quit meditation, right? So you see here how you have like these points. These points may not be related to what business owners went through in their own meditation routine or even how they perceive meditation, right? And so all 3 of these points should be somehow related to business owners who either quit meditation and now want to start doing meditation again, or to business owners who may want to get into meditation, but they're hesitant about getting into meditation because they're afraid it'll affect their business, right? And then you're going to say all that, and then you're going to go, it wasn't until I did, and you're going to talk about your mechanism, right? Or the discovery that you made that started to get you back into meditation, right? And I think down here you mention your mechanism, which is tailored worksheets and practicing a mind mastery exercise, right? So I would take out this tailored worksheets, right? That doesn't sound interesting at all. I would keep in this mind mastery exercise, right? This sounds like some kind of discovery you figured out. So you'd say something like, it wasn't until I discovered this mind mastery exercise did meditation feel like fun, or I started to get back into meditation, right? And then you would go into your pitch, right? Well, this is like your call to action at the end, right? Where you'd say something like, this is why I've created a free guide called Easy Peasy Meditation, right? If you like a copy, DM me easy peasy and I'll send it to you. Right? Because right here where you're saying just DM me easy peasy, I don't know why I'm DMing you easy peasy, right? It makes no sense. And this name for your guide, right? It's way too long. It's such a mouthful, right? Mental magic for mastering a meditation habit, right? Usually you want your guide to be results focused or just something that's very easy, like easy peasy meditation, right? And you can even put, this is specifically for entrepreneurs, right? Like a PS, this is specifically for entrepreneurs, right? Something you see me do is I use the PS to always pitch my guide or to work with me, right? Because that's a little hack, right? And you could do that as well, right? I wouldn't put these hashtags in here, right? There's no point in putting hashtags in here. And your coach, I don't know if I would put your coach in here. That's like, you're already presuming you're my coach. That's a lot to presume. All right. This picture is good. Maybe if it was a picture of you meditating, it'd be more relevant. And that is it for you, my friend Frank. Hope you enjoy this. And thank you again so much for submitting your content for review. I know it is very tough to get onto these kind of hot seats and be, vulnerable and kind of get a little roasted. I get a little roasty up here. And okay, let's go to the next one. Let's see, where is it here? Okay, so who's next up on our hit list? All right, we got my man Alvaro. Let's do Alvaro here. Okay. So, he has a YouTube video. Okay. I don't know if you guys can hear this. I'm not sure if you guys can hear this. Okay, so he basically just started the video by saying, all right, we're going to get started with your homework. Okay, so let me see what Alvaro is. I think I've talked to him already. He is so he's a player development coach. And he specifically, I believe he helps high school soccer players become pro or semi-pro. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can hear this video, but I'm just going to kind of narrate what he's saying for a little bit of it. All right, okay, so he's getting right into this routine. He's saying you need 2 cones, 2 water bottles, and 2 pairs of socks. I don't know why he said that, but he said that. And so he's getting right into the routine. And the problem already right off the bat in the first 20 seconds, right, which is the most important for all of your content, is the pre-framing that you do at the beginning of your videos, right? And so for him, I would suggest he start off his video with saying something like, hey, if you're a high school soccer player and you want to get into the pros, this is the 5-minute daily routine you need to do every day. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Alvaro. What's his last name? Fan. My name is Alvaro Fan, and I develop high school soccer players to become pro or semi-pro. And this is the training you're going to want to do every single day. And then he just gets into the training, right? So that little bit of pre-framing at the beginning of the video is just going to make it a lot clearer on what they're doing and why they're doing it, and give you a little authority on why they should do it. All right. And so I think this whole video is just him. Yeah. The whole video is just him going through a training. So people are not going to watch this video and then be like, yeah, I should work with this guy. Right. They need a little bit of pre-framing of why they even need to watch this video. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Who do we got next on the hit list? Okay. David. I think David submitted. Yeah, okay. Let me make sure everything's working here. Okay, so here's David. Okay, so this is like one of those kind of videos where there's no talking. Oh, there's like that YouTube music. And he's showing us how to stretch without making our backs worse. All right. So the first thing I noticed is that this video is way too dark. Okay. I think if you had a slightly better lighting, right? Especially when you're doing like a demonstration video, you want to have good lighting because people really need to see what the heck you're doing. And then also, it's also just like a taking you more seriously issue, right? If the video is too dark and even that part at the end, you could cut that out. Like, you could edit this video so much better. And also just jumping straight into the stretch, right? Again, we talked about pre-framing in Alvaro's video. You could do something like at the beginning of the video, you could have something like you could have like a clip of you where you're acting like your calves are tight and you can barely walk, right? And you're kind of like making this funny face and it's like, ow, ow, ow. And then you could have like a caption over it that says, does your calves get stiff after running? Right? Because I think from reading this, you're helping people whose calves are stiff after running, but they have back pain, so they don't really know how to stretch. Okay. And so what you could have is the first clip is you kind of like acting like your calves are tight and you can barely walk. Right. And it's kind of a little funny. And so that would be like a little scroll stopper. And you'll have a caption over top of that says, does your calves get stiff after running? Right. And then you can have a next caption after that says, but you can't stretch them properly because you have a bad back. Right. So what we're doing now is qualifying the person even more. So we're not only talking to people whose calves get stiff after running. Now we're talking to people who can't stretch them properly because they have a bad back. Right. Then you're going to go into a next clip where you're kind of starting to show the stretch you do. And you can have a caption, then say, here's the stretch I do for my calves, even though I have a bad back. And you can put the even though I have a bad back in brackets. Okay. And then you can show yourself doing the stretch. Make sure the lighting is good. Right. And then at the end of the video, you can then show you running pain-free. Right. And then at the very end, if you want, because I noticed you're kind of doing you wrote all this in the caption, which I don't know who's going to have the time to read all that. But then you put the call to action down here to join your program. Right. What I would recommend is you actually either say this at the end of the video, or you can put this as a caption. Something like, if you want to be able to work out pain-free, I'm offering 21 days free into my Stronger Back program. DM me for details, right? Remember, on Instagram, this link is not clickable on Instagram. So nobody is going to be able to click on this link, and nobody's going to be able to copy and paste this link, right? Or go to their website, right? So with Instagram, you want people, and even TikTok, I noticed you posted this on TikTok, you want people to DM you for more details, right? And so that's it for this one. All right. Hopefully these changes make sense. And yeah, you don't need to do a crazy long caption like this. And let me just see how you started this. Most of you that walk a lot do some kind of weird fast movement, such as running, can sometimes end up with stiff calf muscles that, okay. So this doesn't even make any sense. And also you're assuming a lot right here. So yeah, don't do any of this. Don't do any of this stuff, bro. This is too much. Okay. All right, let's get into the next one. We're rolling along beautifully, man. How fast can we do this? All right, let's get into the next one. Who else is on here? Morgan. Okay, Morgan. Okay, let's go. Oh shit. Hold on, someone's calling me. Let me decline that. Boy. Okay, cool. Sorry about that, guys. So we got Dr. Morgan Oakes here, okay? And he's covered in mud. And so this is a scroll stopping picture. I'm like, what is this long-haired white dude covered in mud doing, right? Now let's read his post. I'm going to read his post out loud. It looks to be pretty good. Just from the look of it, you can tell if a post is good or not, right? When you start really getting into this stuff. Let's see here. So he's saying, we all belong to the Scar Clan. All right, that's an interesting hook. I had a teacher who used to tell us this. The point was, we all have wounding. We all have gone through a difficult phase in our life. We have all taken missteps, made mistakes, abandoned, and been abandoned. Have things we regret or wish we would have handled differently. It was a great teaching. We all belong to the Scar Clan. Puts us all on the same side of the line. We all deserve healing. Okay, this is a good kind of call to arms intro. It's not about rating the difficulty of our past to put us above or below someone else and their experiences. What I've noticed, okay, so I think that this line, you can take this completely out because this has like literally nothing to do with anything. What I've noticed over the past 20 years in the healing profession is you can tell who has done their work to properly heal and those who have not. All right, so this is a good line. This is what I would call an authority tag because now I'm like, oh, he's been doing this for 20 years, right? So it's always good to include your authority tags in your content so people can take more relevance to what you're saying, right? So people who had surgery and didn't do the rehab still limp. Someone divorced 10 years can feel like it's been 10 weeks. Adult children can still be upset at parents who've been dead for 20 years. So these three things should relate, and I'm just going to assume that they're relating to your ideal client, right? So this is a similar thing that Frank was doing, right? So make sure, or Frank wasn't doing, right? He wasn't relating his examples in his content to what his ideal client is going through. So I know this seems like it's kind of a metaphor. People who had surgery and didn't do the rehab still limp. Someone divorced 10 years can feel like it's been 10 weeks. Adult children can be upset at parents who've been dead for 20 years. Okay, we're going to just leave this as is. I'm going to read on and to just get more info about what Morgan does, okay? One of the biggest pains in my life is being stuck in the energy of stagnation. My not having the patience to be in this energy may be my own form of wounding. Is it better to be stoic about a hand on a hot stove? Okay, I would take that off completely. I don't even know what you're talking about there. Having the ability to hold others when they are stuck in their own process has also been a place of growth for me. As a doctor and healer, my job is to hold people where they are, and we all have our own pace for healing, and I know we are each doing our best. Okay, so again, you put the authority tag in here as being a doctor and a healer. Part of the reason I have begun to work with men and take them on initiatory trips to Mexico is that many men have never had the opportunity to evolve and heal in a sacred container with other men. So this is good. We're getting into the why of why you're doing what you're doing. I wouldn't put this word initiatory here. It's a little bit of a big word. And so we usually want to write at a grade 3 reading level, right? And so we need to see other men that have their own challenges to let that part of us know that we are not alone. We need to be seen in our vulnerability and suffering to have the alchemy of healing occur. Again, the word alchemy, I don't know if I would put it in here. It's a bit too much of a word, right? I know that strong men create strong men. I've seen the transformation that can occur when men show up for themselves and for their families. I've also experienced what a blast this type of transformational adventure can be. See with the exclamation marks? There is space available. Maybe this is your time. I will meet you there. Okay, so it seems like Morgan is a men's coach, a transformational men's coach. I think I talked to him. I think he's a high performance and spiritual men's coach. Okay, so let's go back to these 3 points here. So each 3 of these points, they should be more specific to men. So men who've had surgery and didn't do the rehab still limp. Men who've been divorced for 10 years can feel like it's been 10 weeks. Men who are still upset at their dad who's been dead for 20 years, right? You want to make these points way more specific to what your ideal client is going through, okay? Next, I would take out the things I said to take out because they were a little bit flowery and a little over the top. And then for your call to action here at the end, where you're trying to get people to come to your Mexico retreat, it looks like. So this is a little bit soft. And it seems like you wouldn't like that type of salesy language where you're like, if you want to change your life, come to my Mexico retreat, right? So what I would suggest, though, is to make this a little bit stronger. So something you can say here is just so, yeah, this is fine. There is space available. Maybe this is your time. DM me for details, right? Or send me a DM for details, right? Saying I will meet you there. That's a little bit cryptic. Like, wait, what? You're gonna meet me there? How? What? How am I getting there? I don't like. What am I just gonna fly there? Like, am I gonna just like materialize over there, right? So you want to say send me a DM for details, and then you get into the conversation with them. But overall, this is a good post. Just take out a few of those things, okay? And I think that's it, guys. All right, so I just want to thank all of these guys for submitting their content. Morgan, David, Frank, and Alvaro. You guys are awesome. And if you guys want me to do this again, I'll probably do this again next week or either next month. And so let me know what you guys think. Much love to everyone, and have a great Friday. Have a great week. Much love.